Labour will consider the proposals the government brings forward, including its response to the Foreign Affairs Select Committee report opposing British airstrikes in Syria. But, in our view, the dreadful Paris attacks make the case for a far more urgent international effort to reach a negotiated settlement of the civil war in Syria and an end to the threat from ISIS. It's the conflict in Syria and the consequences of the Iraq war which have created the conditions for ISIS to thrive and spread its murderous rule. And it's through political agreement to end the civil war, negotiated with all the external powers, backed by the UN, and with Syrians in control of their own country, that ISIS will be isolated and defeated. Action against ISIS that sticks on the ground, that destroys the virus, and reclaims the hearts and minds as well as the territory, will have to come from within the Arab and Muslim world itself. It can't be seen as an external intervention, although the international community does have a part to play. That's why we've called on the government to work through the UN, and why we should use the UN Security Council, passed last night, to accelerate moves towards a comprehensive settlement of the conflict. Of course, Labour will support every necessary measure to protect people on the streets of our towns and cities, but it's vital, as I've said before, at a time of tragedy and outrage, not to be drawn into responses which feed a cycle of violence and hate. The United States President Obama, said recently, and I quote, "ISIS grew out of our invasion of Iraq, and it's one of its unintended consequences. We must not keep making the same mistakes again and again." Let me make it clear, Labour will always stand up to any threat to this country and the people of this country. We're not going to leave British people or this country unprotected. But we do need a different approach to foreign policy that puts peace, justice, and real security first.